Sharkie Gamer here. Welcome to episode 4 of Prototypes and Unreleased Controllers. So in today's episode we're taking a look at the Splitfish DualFX, a dual 2-piece style controller for PlayStation 2. Now, this was going to be made by Splitfish, who is quite well known for making those dual 2-piece style controllers. The DualFX was going to be the ultimate FPS controller for shooters. It was going to be made up of 2 control units, one for each hand, and was going to have a laser guidance system for the most accurate aiming, making it easy to get those headshots. It was meant to be an alternative FPS controller to the EdgeFX mouse controller, which I have a review of that on my channel if you're interested, but unlike the EdgeFX, which had a mouse and joystick, the DualFX was going to have the 2 standard analog sticks, one on each side, as well as the optional laser guidance aiming system. So first, let's take a look at the official description of the DualFX. This description was from the Splitfish website when it still had the DualFX listed under Gameware. So let's take a look at the screenshot of that website now. This is a screenshot of the Splitfish website when it featured the DualFX controller. So as you can see in the middle there's a picture of the DualFX, and below it it's got a bit of a description. DualFX controller for PlayStation 2. DualFX is a 2-piece controller that features a precision laser guidance option that functions as the right analog stick. Perfect for first-person shooter games. And in brackets there it says supports all games. So that was the screenshot of the Splitfish website. As you can tell by that short description, it was going to have a laser for first-person shooters and was going to support all games. So basically it was like a light gun that works with any game. Not too different than, say, a Wiimote, which at the time was already on its way to being released, as was the PS3 system. You can also tell by the screenshot it was originally announced at E3 2006 Expo, and on the site it said March 1st, 2007 release. This release never happened and the date got moved to October 7th, but it still never got released. There was also another description that was on the German website. I've translated it and it says, DualFX controller is an input device which consists of 2 separate units. In the left hand the player has an analog stick, D-pad and shoulder buttons, while on the right hand has a gun-shaped controller which is equipped with a laser pointer and trigger. The built-in motion sensors are particularly suited for 3D shooters supported by PlayStation 2. Alright, so those are the 2 official descriptions. So now let's have a closer look at the controller and its features. So this is the DualFX controller. It was going to be a wired controller, and you can see that it had the Splitfish name branded on the handles of both pieces. On the left controller there would have been a select button, and on top of the right controller there is a switch, and this could have been a start button, or it could even be a switch to tell the controller to use the right analog stick or the laser for aiming. On both sides of the controller there would have been an analog stick. These analog sticks would have also clicked down, so these would pretty much be just like using a standard gamepad. The D-pad would have been located on the left controller, right next to the left analog stick, for easy access for when you need it. Here are your main function buttons, X, square, triangle and circle, placed next to the right analog stick for quick and easy access. On the back of the controller there would have been 2 standard bumper buttons, just like your normal gamepad. On the right side controller under here there would have been 1 main trigger button. This trigger would have tried to replicate the look and feel of an actual gun trigger. On the right controller there would have been a bumper button placed directly into the grip handle for easy reach while you're playing the game. This would have been where your laser came out, basically working like a laser pointed light gun, and it was said that you could switch between using the laser to aim or use the standard right analog stick instead. The design looks cool. It's got that weird versus modern design, almost like a gun but not quite. I'm sure though had it been released, some people would have bought it based on how cool it looks alone. Now usually we only have the concept or stock images to go by, but this time we have images of a prototype that was shown at E3 2006 Splitfish booth. So these are photos of the actual prototype controller. They were taken from the Splitfish booth at E3 2006. So as you can see by these photos, the right hand controller would have been considerably larger than the left. And other than the odd shape and of course the laser at the front, it looks like a gamepad controller that has been split into 2 pieces. It still does look pretty cool though. So that was the DualFX controller, a dual 2-piece style controller that incorporated a standard gamepad as well as an additional laser guidance system for more accurate aiming. This was never released. It was featured on the Splitfish website for a number of years before they took it off. It was originally thought the reason they delayed the release initially was because they had changed their plan to make it for PS2 and were now going to make it for PS3, but nothing ever got released. Perhaps their laser aiming was not accurate enough. There is an article on the net written by someone who tried this at the original E3 booth, and he said the laser was so inconsistent that he had to switch to using the right analog stick to even use it with the game. And his thoughts were that Splitfish should lose the laser altogether. So maybe that is what happened. The laser was too inconsistent and not at all accurate enough to use all games, especially shooters. So the PS3 just got the FragFX mouse controller, as well as a dual frag SFX Evolution. And when you think about it, the dual frag SFX Evolution does look like a slimmed down version of the DualFX, but without the laser. But that is another interesting and unique controller not released. Would it have been any good? Hard to tell. They obviously had issues with laser aiming right from the start, and not to mention game compatibility, which there may have been issues with that as well. But had it been released, I probably would have bought it. So that is episode 4 of Prototypes and Unreleased Controllers. I am Sharkie Gamer. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll have heaps more gaming controller and accessory videos up very soon. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you like this video, hit that like button. Really helps a lot, guys.